Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give our streaming software a couple seconds to get caught up so that we can all get into the room together. So, thank you all so much for joining me. My name is Cecily Habimana. I'm co-owner of So Creative Lounge, and today we are going to be working on this very, very cute wine tote bag, which is super cute, especially for the holidays, or if you're going to a birthday party and you want to bring a bottle of wine, but you don't want to just bring it by itself. Just make it pop a little with this beautiful wine tote bag or wine tote. Not tote bag, wine bag, if you want to call it. It is, you can use either side, so you could decide which side you want to do. So I did use two contrasting colors for mine. And if you are planning to do it, you don't need anything more than a fat quarter. It's a small, it doesn't use a lot of fabric. It's a really easy sew, and it's also the perfect precursor to our conference coming up, So Much Soul, that's going to be from September 12th through the 14th. So today we are doing a preview class for So Much Soul. And if you are in the chat, let me know if you have registered for So Much Soul. Let me know if this is your, if you've taken a class of So Much Soul. This is officially our 5th anniversary of So Much Soul. I cannot believe we've done 5 years of So Much Soul with a total of 7 conferences. So because some years we did 2 conferences, both the quilting conference and the garment sewing conference, if you will, that we do in September. So let me go ahead and check the chat and make sure you all can see me well, you all can hear me well, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So I see I'm already live. Let me turn that down so you can. Okay, perfect. All right, so I see Phyllis is there. I see Nikki. I see who else? Yvette, he's here. So welcome everybody. I want to make sure, because when we got this email from Nikki, and she said, Cecily, can you do something with this pattern? I said, of course, of course. And so Nikki is the one that actually designed this particular pattern and gave the instructions for it. It's a DIY bag pattern with instructions. It's super, super cute. And all you have to do is go to our website, socreativelounge.com, scroll down just so slightly, and you will see this pattern on our website. Now, if you're watching this in a few weeks and it's not on the home page, just search for DIY wine bag and you will be able to download this particular pattern. So I want to thank Nikki for thinking of us and giving us this idea, and also for us, being able to launch this So Much Soul conference really early, 2 months early, so y'all can kind of get a preview of what we're going to be doing in September. And of course, Nikki's going to be coming back and teaching a beautiful class called Trouser Adjustments. I can't remember the AKA name. Let me think about it. It was called, what was the name of it? Somebody put it in the chat. Well, Nikki, what was the name of the class again? We gave it an AKA. We said also known as pants fit every time, something like that. But she's going to be teaching this amazing class where she's going to be teaching how to make sure that your pants fit every single time when you make that. No more gaps in the back, no more too tight legs, no more flare when you meant for it to be fitted. She's going to be talking about those adjustments during the So Much Soul conference. So Nikki said, I forgot to. Oh my goodness. All right, Khadijah said, what else can it hold besides wine? You tell me. All right, because today we are making this wine holder. So if you find another use for it, go for it. All right, so let's go ahead and head over to the cutting table so that we can get started with our class. Great. All right, so here we are at our cutting table, and we have a couple things that we'll need for this class. One, we'll need 2 pieces of fabric, and I used fat quarters, 2 fat quarters. Complementary, I kind of like this orange. The first one that I did was with this cute pink and purple effect, which I thought was really nice. So you could definitely use that. Now, out of each fat quarter, you can make two wine totes, I believe. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Let me not tell y'all a story. Here, hold on. Let me make one quick measurement. So it's 7, 14. No, you cannot. I told a big old story. That's why I need to measure. So you can make one out of each fat quarter. You will have a little fabric left over. Okay, once you do that. Here at So Creative Lounge, we do have a fat quarter bundle. So if you want to make multiples of it, if you get any of our fat quarter bundles, you will be able to make 5 wine bags from this. So this particular bundle that we have here is called Ocean Blue, and it has a lot of complementary fabrics that you can use for your wine tote. So I really like this Ocean Blue one, especially like these two really work well. I'm going to just group them together. This particular bundle. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, wait. I'm like, oh, wait. Yes, yes, yes. So literally, you can make 5 wine bags with this one, and they're already kind of pre-organized for you, so you don't have to do all the guesswork. So again, this one's on our website. It's called Ocean Blue Fat Quarter Bundle, and you can get this set. Another one we have is called the Green and Yellow Fat Quarter Bundle. So if you would like a little sunshine colors in your bundles, let's see how these coordinate real quick. Let's see, we've got the yellows. Ooh, this is really, ooh, okay, let's see. Let's work out these fabric combinations real quick. I kind of like that together. I kind of like that together. These are a little bit more muted. This one, oh, perfect. So again, you have these fat quarter bundles already kind of coordinated. You can mix and match them as you want, but again, you won't have to do as much work when you already have them pre-cut for you for the fat quarter bundles. So you can go to our website, search for fat quarter bundles, and you'll be able to see all the different possibilities that we have. All right, so first things first, our supplies. So you will need 2 fat quarters, which we're going to be cutting into 4 18 by 7 pieces. Okay, so we're good. I've already pre-cut mine because I know how things are. All right, and if you get your fat quarter that's not quite 18, and you're like, oh my gosh, Cecily, it's not quite 18, maybe it's 17, it's okay. All right, it's okay. As long as it's roughly around 18. Mine actually cut down to be about 17 inches, and it was fine. All right, so you'll need 4 of these. Cotton, you can also use denim, home decor, linen, a lot of different options for fabric. As long as it's a nice stiff fabric and not a knit or something like that. You also need your ruler. If you have not cut your fabric already, I would recommend a rotary color cutter, but you can also use a pair of scissors. You will need a safety pin to cast your ribbon through. So you'll need, I got a small one and a large one. I'm not sure how wide or small my seam is going to be, so I wanted to make sure I had 2 different sizes. You'll definitely need some chalk, and you'll need some ribbon. Now, the ribbon I had that coordinated with it is only a 1/4 inch wide. The pattern calls for ribbon that's at least 3/8 wide or 1/2 inch. You know, I'm going to believe whatever you have at home is what you should use. And so if you only have a 1/4 inch, you may want to go ahead and use that. Otherwise, if you're buying something, get the 3/8 or 1/2 inch seam allowance. All right, so step 1, I'm going to move some of these materials to the side. Hello, everybody in the chat. We are in the midst of making this beautiful wine carrier. All right, so if you missed it, you can download the pattern on our website at socreativelounge.com. All right, so first things first is that you're going to cut 4 of these, okay? 4 pieces, 7 inches by 18. 7 inches by 18, all right? Once you get that, we are going to be measuring up from the bottom 12 inches, okay? So I'm actually going to turn my fabric here so I can see the 12 inches easily. And I'm going to use my chalk. So I've got it lined up on the end here. And I'm going to be measuring from the bottom, which is going to be on this side, all the way up to the 12-inch line. All right, so we are going to use a longer ruler. We're going to use a longer ruler so we can get all the way up there. All right, and if you don't have a longer ruler, then use what you have, okay? So we're measuring 12 inches and a nice chalk line. Can you see that? Yes. All right, I can see it. I know you can't see it. Once we mark that 12-inch line, we're going to go ahead and just move 1 inch over and mark our 13-inch line as well. This project is going to go by relatively fast because it's super easy, which is great because when you're making a whole bunch of these for the holidays, you could just run through this really easily, right? So we've marked it on this side. We also are going to turn the same piece over and mark the back side as well, because we need them to be, we need it on both sides. All right, so we're going to be marking the 12-inch line and the 13-inch line on both sides. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. All right. And I would say go ahead and make a couple ahead of time. Don't wait until that party is on your calendar and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to get? No, if you have these already in stock, already on deck, you can just pull it out when it's time for the party that you like did not actually buy the gift yet. You could just have a few of them ready for you. All right, so again, I'm marking on both sides of the fabric the 12 and the 13-inch line. That is 12. This is 13. If you're just coming in, hello, hello. Thank you for joining. I see Evelyn, Rachel, Shawnette, Shirley. Hello, hello. We are just getting started. Great. 12 and 13. Hi, Rachel. Thanks for joining. Great and great. Perfect. We've got our lines all drawn on for both. I think you kind of see it in this area, a little bit of lines. So they're there. Don't worry, they are there. All right, so once we get that, the first thing we're going to do is sew up our two pieces with the right sides together. So I cannot tell which side is right side from wrong side. And since I marked both sides of the fabric, it honestly really doesn't matter. Just go ahead and sew up those side seams. So when we're sewing the side seams, guys, we're going to be sewing from the top. We're going to go down. We're going to skip the area between the two lines that I drew. And then we're going to sew, 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 sew. We're going to pivot. We're going to sew down this bottom side and come back up, leaving the space in between those two lines. All right, so let me go ahead and get my pins. And I don't know why my pin cushion has disappeared from me. I have one. All right. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. This is my favorite pin cushion, y'all. This is the one with my thread catcher attached to it. All right. So I won't need you. I'll put you away. All righty. So let's go ahead and pin this. Now at home, you know, if you've been sewing for a while, you probably don't need to pin this. You probably could just go take this straight to the machine. But we may have some beginners here. So we're going to do all of this properly so that when you go back to actually sew this, you'll be all ready. Okay. All right. And for this project, we're going to be using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Hi, Evelyn from New Jersey. Welcome. All righty. We're going to get these two pieces together. Perfect. And if you guys, again, this is a preview class for a So Much Sew conference coming up in September 12th through the 14th. If you have not already registered, type SMS in the chat, and then you should get a link to register for the conference. It is free to register. All right, there is no payment needed to register. Now, once you get into registration, you may want to go and upgrade your ticket to VIP. You may want to get your conference kit. Both of those have costs, but if you just want to register and attend, there are no fees attached to that. So make sure you do that, because this is our 7th conference and our, how would you say, 5th anniversary. Our 5th anniversary. So we're going to head over to the sewing machine and go ahead and sew these pieces up. All right, so here we are at the sewing machine. I have decided to use white thread. It's a little bit contrasting to the fabric that I'm using, so that you guys can see it. All right, and again, we're using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. All right, so let's go ahead. And of course I lost my thread. Of course I didn't pull enough thread out. And it's okay. Let's go ahead and get her rethreaded and chat a little bit more. Of course. And yes, I did test the machine. Everything was all ready for you all. But here we are. Alrighty. Let me grab her. My eyes are still pretty good, but I still need a clean edge so that I can thread it. So perfect. All right, it's in there. All right. We're ready. So we're back stitching once we get to that first line, and then we're going to move past that line. So we're about a 1/2 inch from the bottom. We're going to pick up our foot, make a pivot, and keep on going around. Again, a 1/2 inch from the end, pick up that foot, turn it, place it back down. Remember, whenever you pivot, you want to have that needle down so you don't lose your place. And we're back down to that white line. We're going to move on to the other side of that white line, the second line. Go all the way to the end. All right. Side one is down. I'm not going to say one is the main and lining because I'm not sure which side is going to be the main and which side is going to be the lining yet. All right, make sure you're starting with the line closest to the top of the bag. All right, we're all the way on both sides. So while I'm here, we'll go ahead and clip my corners. Just good practice so there's not a lot of bulk. Excuse me. I have a lot of allergies, guys, so excuse my sneezing. All right, so let's head back over to the cutting table. All right, so here we are, and we have sewn both sides. I'm going to go ahead and cut off all of these thread tails so that we don't have a whole lot of work at the end. Hello, everyone who's come in. Thanks so much for joining. If you are just coming in, I'm cutting off thread tails for our cute wine tote bag. Our wine, why do we call it a wine tote bag? Our wine bag. I guess if you have a lot of wine, if you're doing like a multi-carrier, then suddenly becomes a tote bag. But we'll just have a wine bag right now. All right. So the instructions tell us we just completed this step. We marked our lines. We sewn our sides for both sides. So we're going to go on to the next, which is boxing up our corners. All right. So from the corner here, we're going to be measuring up 1.5 inches so that we can box out our corners. And what does that allow us to do? Well, boxing the corners allows us to have a flat surface on the bottom of our wine bag. So if we did it, the wine will be doing something like this, and we don't want that to happen. So we want to box those corners out and make sure that we are taking out that excess fabric. So in order to do so, we are going to be pulling out these sides, all right, and making our own little triangle, all right. So the seam is at the top here. The seam is on the other side is also there as well. And we're going to be turning that and measuring 1.5 inches from that point. All right. So I've got my handy dandy cutting table. So we have 1 inch, 1.5 inches. I'm going to put my ruler here, and bam, this is where I am going to be sewing my bag. All right. And you may want to put a couple of pins there. Perfect. And we're going to do the same thing on this side as well as our second piece of fabric, which I refuse to call our lining because, again, I'm not sure which side. And you guys are going to help me decide which side I'm going to use. Am I going to use this orange fabric I have here, or am I going to use the other fabric, the green fabric? I'm not sure. Let me know in the chat. Which one should I put on the outside? Hi, Angela. Hello, Antoinette from East, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the live. All right, so we've got these pinned, so we have both sides ready to go. And let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. All right, so we have a pin here. So 1.5 inches. All right, I'm going to chalk line it. And also I wanted to mention that for those lines that we did on the other, for our sewing lines, you may want to use a Mark Be Gone pen. And the reason why is that once you stitch, if you really want it to be all the way gone, you can just use a little water and it'll go away. But we have a few of these left on our website. So if you want to get a Mark Be Gone pen, this will be recommended. Instead of like, you know, smudging and using your finger to get the chalk line off, you can use that. It's a little bit easier. All righty. All right, so Bryn says use the orange fabric. Phil says use the one with the green. Oh my gosh, one on one. I have somebody says orange and green. Okay. All right, so we have 2 for the orange and green on the outside. 1 vote for the orange on the outside. So far, these circle fabric is the winner. Let's see if a few more people will chime in and let me know which fabric they want me to use on the outside. All right, so we have officially gotten our corners nice and boxed out. You can see how it's already kind of making this flat surface. So let's go ahead over and to the sewing machine and sew these corners up. All right, so here we are. We've got 4 to do. I like to chain sew, so I'm going to start. I'm going to do 2 on one side and 2 on the other. Got 1 done. All right, let's get that second one done. It's funny, when I change machines, I'm looking for the button to cut my thread, thinking I'm on my Bernina, but this is a Bernette. Nice machine, but it does not have all of the Bernina bells and whistles, so I have to cut my thread manually and make sure my bobbin doesn't run out. All right, that's number 3, and we're just sewing right over the line that we drew. Okay. Right, we have finished boxing out those corners. And what we'll do next is just cut off that excess. So we're going to stay here for just a second. And I'm just cutting about a 1/2 inch away from that seam that I just made. We're just cutting that off so we can get rid of all of that bulky fabric in there. All right, that's 2. Let's do the other 2. This is 3. And last side. All right, so we have boxed out our corners. Let's head back over. All right, so now we've got our 2 sides. They're boxed out. We're about halfway done, guys. How cool is that? And we have a really quick project. You could probably do like probably 5 at a time just to get it out of the way. I want to iron out my seam now. And I definitely think this is one step you could have done right after you did, before we did this last step. If you want to iron out, it's probably easier. But let's go ahead and do that. And there seems to be no water in this. Yeah, perfect. All right, so I think I'll get will be a little bit hotter. Can the bag be made reversible? I'm pretty sure, Carolyn. I think it's the matter of how we're going to put in the uh, which side you pull the. No wonder it's not doing anything. Hold on, the iron came out the socket. I was like, why isn't this working? So let me cut to my front shot while the iron is warming up. All right, so Carolyn just asked, can it maybe made for reversible? So at the end, we are going to be pulling our ribbon through, and you can either pull it through one side or the other. So the only difference is if you want to use the other side, you got to put the ribbon in through the hole on the other side. Now the hole is on both sides, so it's not a big deal to pull it on one way or the other. So in essence, a long story, yes, you could definitely make this reversible if you want, if you can't decide which side you want to use for your gift. Okay. All right. What happened to Buttercup? I haven't seen her in a while. Uh, Buttercup was our lovely iron that we had. I'm just pressing out the seam, guys, so we can still talk while you all see me. And she's in the back. She is in the back. We'll bring her back out. We'll probably bring her back out for So Much Soul. All right. Any other questions? Oh yeah, the water bottle trick. Yes, because we teach children too. You definitely want to have that little squeeze bottle. Usually, people, if you could find it like at a restaurant, Depot. That's where we got ours from. But I'm sure that Amazon has like a ketchup dispenser type of thing, and you can purchase your squeeze bottle, so you can easily get your water in there without watering up your entire table. All righty. So I am almost done. I'm going to switch the cameras over to so y'all can see me finish up this ironing. All right. So I am finishing up my last seam. Hey Dee, how are you? Thanks for joining in. All right, I'm just opening up my seams here. All right, so now we have access to the opening that we had. So you see my opening here, you can see my finger coming through right there. All right, while I'm here, and this is not in the instructions, I'm going to go ahead and turn this down about maybe I'm going to say 3/8 of an inch while I'm here. This will make it easier. Actually, this looks more like a 1/2 inch. Let's turn it down a 1/2 inch. This will make it easier when we, at the last step, when we top stitch. All right. So we're going to go ahead. Oh, Carolyn says they have them at the Dollar Tree. Perfect. Walmart has them. Okay, perfect. Awesome. All right, so definitely want to have that on deck. I think it's just, even if you aren't sewing, I think it's just a nice thing to have. Rather than that open cup that they include with the irons, this is a much nicer and spill-proof method. All right, so we've got that all together. All right, here we are. All right, so we're going to turn, oh, what did we decide? I think we're going to do the green one. This one, I think most people said this one. So I'm going to turn the one that I want on the outside, right side out. And I am going to stick the one side in there. It's already turning out. All right, so I'm just using my arm, guys. I'm matching my seams here so that it all will match up. So since I know that I'm going to be sewing around the top, I'm going to go ahead. I've got everything nice and lined up. Make sure I can fit. Yep, I see both. Everything is lined up here. So I'm going to go ahead and pin these pieces together, or not together. Well, I guess one side together and one pin on the other side. So that I can make sure that I can get my ribbon through. So I'm pinning one side. Yeah, I think you can still see the holes right there. And I'm going to pin the other side of the hole as well. Vanessa said, I don't know where that open cup went. I know. I never could find mine either. I end up using like a water bottle sometimes at home, but definitely next time I go to the Dollar Tree, I am going to get one for home because we have them here. We've only ever used them here. Oh, that's one of Tisha's tricks. She's always bought them and made sure we had them here at the studio so we're not making a big mess. All right, so I have pins on both sides of my hole here, and then I'm just going to pin around the top as well, because when we go back to the sewing machine, we're going to do 2 stitches that basically finishes up this project in like a 30-minute time frame. Again, super easy. You can do this while catching up on your favorite TV program. You guys, actually, what I'm watching now, I'm actually watching Scandal right now, starting from the first season. I realized I never finished watching the whole season because around the time the last season came on, I had a baby and I never went back after that. So I'm actually starting from the beginning, and I don't even remember a lot of what happened in Scandal, which is hilarious. But it's definitely scandalous. All right, we're all pinned. Now that you all know what I'm watching, we are going to go over to the sewing machine. All right, so we're back. I can kind of see my lines. Some of my lines have disappeared, but it's okay. I'm going to take off the arm of my machine and pray that this fits. Let's see, let's see. Yay, it fits. Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you ever get here and you're like, oh my gosh, it doesn't fit, you can always still sew it. You just have to, sew from the inside, which is not much fun. It is not much fun, guys. So hopefully you have a arm that you can remove and that your project actually fits around it. All right, so we're going to go all the way around. Perfect. All right. Trim this up. All right, we'll squeeze this in just a little bit so I can get to, there we go. second one done. And then we're going to go right up to the top. And we're top stitching around the top, okay? And voila, let's go see what we have. I've got both of our lines here. I've got that opening. You guys can see this is where I'm going to be casting my my ribbon through. And yeah, let's go over to the cutting table. All right, so first off, we're going to cut off all the thread tails so we can have a nice, neat project ready to be gifted. Dun, 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 dun. And again, this is the beginning. This is a preview of the experience that you'll have at the So Much Soul conference, minus the community, because the community in So Much Soul is top notch. Let me tell you, top notch. Just imagine hundreds and maybe even sometimes we even know have over 1,000 people inside of our conference rooms, and we come together and we just sew for the entire weekend, and it's absolutely amazing. The energy is amazing. The projects are amazing. And we just have a good time. So if you have not registered for So Much Soul, you want to go ahead, type SMS in the chat so that you can get the link and register, because it is free. So no excuses. You can't say, oh my gosh, I can't afford it. It's free, guys. It's free. Join us for the class. It is free to register. All right. So I am just loosening up a little bit. Why am I doing this? I guess I could actually take this off. I'll take it off. I just was trying to save it. All right, and not have a big old mess at the end. It's all good. So you need, I would say, maybe about, I'm going to say like maybe 30 inches, two pieces that are about 30 inches long. So I'm going to go ahead and cut two. And you can always cut it down if you don't want it to be so long. Make a pretty ribbon though, guys. Make a nice, I found this beautiful orange. All right. Cindy says the conference is a lot of fun. Cheryl from Colorado, she says, thank you. Yay. Okay. All right. So I think my opening's big enough so I can use my large safety pin. So let's go ahead and attach it to there. We're going to just cast it through the hole. And again, if you want to download this pattern, it's free on our website. And you just go to sewcreativelounge.com. And we haven't made it back to the other side, so I'm going to just go ahead and put this back through the hole. We're going to go all the way to the other side. There we are. All right, so we've got our ribbon through one side. Just tying a little knot at the end. There we are. All right, I'm going to cut it on an angle so it doesn't fray so much. And then we're going to go ahead and use that other one and take it back through the other side so we can close that bag up nice and easy. All right, so let's start from the other side of the bag and stick that through. I see a few people coming in. We are making a cute wine carry. I'm actually almost done, but don't worry. You can always revisit this. Our YouTube channel is probably the easiest way to get back to old videos that we've done. So go make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel so that you can rewatch this when you want to. Okay. Getting to that end, so there's a fold I got to get around. Perfect. All right. All done with my safety pin. Let's get that nice and even. Ooh. All right, so I actually have two. So I guess one of them I'll leave here at the studio. The other one, somebody's going to be getting a nice gift. All right, so let's bring back this one. I'm going to open this one up. Put this bottle into here. There we are. Oh, look at her. Okay, okay. And of course, you could tie a nice little bow if you want to. Tie it in a knot. If you want to keep that nice and closed. Make this your part. Make this your artistic design. What you want to do with that. And then just fold it down. Oh, I got some strings still. See, I didn't finish my strings, y'all. Didn't finish my strings. And voila, we've got our cute little wine carrier holder. I called it everything. Wine carrier, wine bag, wine everything. So let's go ahead and talk for a second. So here we are. We have our wine carrier, perfect for if you're going to a nice little event and you don't just want to bring just a regular bottle. You want to bring it with a nice little, little something to it. So it's definitely somebody asked, Carolyn asked earlier, if you can make this reversible, which the answer is yes. You can use our Fat Quarter bundles because they're pre-coordinated so that you can get 5 wine carriers out of one bundle. So this one is ocean blue. We also have a green and yellow Fat Quarter bundle that we just restocked, which is really nice as well. So definitely check those out. Now, this is not the end, guys. This is not the end. We are just getting started with our So Much Soul conference on Friday. Where are my VIPs at? Where are my VIPs? Those that have registered and upgraded their experience to VIP. Why am I looking for you guys? The reason why I'm looking for my VIPs is because this Friday, I'm going to be giving away our first big giveaway. And I'm not telling you what it is. You just have to come on the live on Friday. Make sure you have your VIP ticket, or you have to have purchased a conference kit. All right, one or the other. That's going to enter you into the drawing for Friday. So make sure you come back here Friday at 5 o'clock so that you can have your chance to win. So if you're not present, if you're not on the live, and I call your name and you're not there, guess what? It's going right back in there, and we're going to call another name. So you have to be present on the live in order to win. Now, if you're like, Cecily, what is this VIP? Type SMS in the chat. We are getting ready for So Much Soul. We are making cute projects, more cute than even the wine bag. Projects like, if you're into quilting, we're going to be making this really, really nice table runner by Kina Quilt Studios. It is super cute and it's super long. And if you don't have a long table like this, guess what? You can do kind of like, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's sort of 6. You can make this more into like a rectangular shape and make it into a wall hanging. You can make some more blocks, make it into a quilt. It is up to you. But this is one of the projects that we're going to be working on, one of the quilted table runner. All right, so that is one project we'll be doing during So Much Soul, coming up in just, oh my gosh, about a month and a half. We're also going to be making this cute kimono with the fringe back. Y'all see that? I love this kimono with the fringes, y'all. With the fringes. I am super excited about making this one. It is definitely one of those projects that I got to add to my wardrobe. We're also making, I've got so many projects down here. Let's see, let me try to get this one off. Yes, perfect. All right, so we put them all together, but these are all little bags that Rakisha is going to be showing you how to make a cute little bag. I don't know what you call it, a zippy pouch, a cute little zippy pouch, which is really, really nice. So we're going to be making a size large during the class. If you want to make more, you're definitely welcome. But the pattern that you'll receive has instructions for all the sizes. All right. I like it clear because you can see everything that you need inside of here. And then also one of them, Rakisha made into this cute kind of this doggy, what do they call them? Doggy poop bags. I don't know. So you could just pull it out and just attach it to your keychain. So you always have that. So that's another project we'll be working on. I'm going to show you two more projects. And I already talked about the trouser adjustment class that Nikki is going to be doing. All right, so we have our skirt. This is a wrap ruffled skirt. Can you all see the ruffle? Yeah. So I think when I make mine, I'm going to make a contrasting ruffle so you can really, really see the ruffle. But I think this one is super, super cute as well. And then last but not least, we're also going to be making this diagonal tote. And this one's going to be taught by Janet. So, of course, it's going to be quilted. And we're going to be working on this cute, simple project with this little wristlet as well. What else I got down here? Our t-shirt, our conference tee. So I'm wearing our conference tee from last year, from 2024. But we are bringing back our conference tees. Can y'all see this? I don't want to bring it too close. But the conference tee is on our website. It's separate from the kit. So if you want to get a conference tee, go ahead and purchase it as well. They should be coming in next week. So we should be shipping the conference tees in about a week and a half or so. So make sure you get that when you are checking out for all the materials that you are getting for the conference. So I want to thank you all so much. I see, anybody have any questions about our project? Let me look. Marie says, you're not spilling the tea. No, I'm not spilling the tea. Cindy says, haven't got my badge. Email us. Email us for the badge. It's inside of the portal. We'll be adding all the members inside of the So Much Sew portal this week. So if you ever feel like you're missing anything, just email us. We'll make sure you get everything you need for the conference. All right. So with that being said, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in for this cute DIY wine bag. Again, this is a preview to the experiences you're going to have during the So Much Sew conference coming up September 12th through the 14th. I want to make sure that you all come back again on Friday for our first giveaway for the So Much Sew VIP folks, as well as our people who have gotten their conference kits. So if you haven't done that already, make sure you do that today, tomorrow, because Friday you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't get my, I wasn't in the drawing. Well, you didn't get your VIP ticket and you didn't get your conference kit. That's why you weren't in the drawing. So make sure you do that, because I want to make sure that you are our next winner. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in just 2 short days. All right. Bye-bye.